K-pop star Sulli was found dead in her own home at the age of 25. It had a terrible repercussion both in South Korea and around the world. It also partially revealed the dark side of the K-pop world once again. So did Sulli really do this to himself? Or were there darker and more complicated things behind it? Hello everyone, my dear friends. I'm Nadir. Is Sulli really dead, murdered, or is he hiding quietly somewhere far away from this eerie world? Sulli stepped into the music world in 2009 with the band FX. The group was affiliated with SM Entertainment, and SM Entertainment was one of South Korea's largest and most controversial entertainment companies in recent years. The group's songs in the studio were very happy, and the girls had a very good success. But unfortunately, things were not going as they seemed from the outside. In 2014, the Sulli group decided to take a break from FX. Both the stress and depression he experienced were too much for him, and he wanted to continue acting. At the same time, he started dating a famous person, which was not familiar in the K-pop world. It was even known that some companies made their group members sign an agreement that they would not have any relationship publicly. Sulli's move drew a great reaction as expected, because the fact that idols were actually openly having a relationship could be frowned upon. This was an unwritten rule, and if you did not follow this rule, you were likely to be out of the game. In 2015, SM Entertainment, this company, which is affiliated with the FX group, made a statement and announced that they parted ways with the young star and son Sadek because Sulli wanted to focus on her acting career. In 2017, about 2 years after Sulli left the FX group, a famous newspaper in South Korea made a very disturbing and negative news about him. He mentioned that he had not been able to get a hatchet since he left FX, and also compared himself to the famous reality star Kim Kardashian. In June of the same year, he received success in a film called Sulli Rail. According to critics, the young woman was very successful and realistic in the film, but this brought other rumors. Rumors that the young woman was really an addict and that she was not acting here, that is, in the film, began to spread on social media. In October 2018, she posted an Instagram video of Sulli, which she later deleted, and stated that she was dealing with panic attacks and social phobia. In his statement, he also added that even the closest people around him abandoned him, and no one understood him. In fact, at this time, Sulli was signaling to her fans about an impending disaster regarding Kempsey. In 2019, the young star talked about how upset he was about the harsh criticism he received in a program he participated in, and she begged people to be a little more kind. "I'm sorry. The servants loved me very much." Sulli was also a proponent of the My Body, My Choice movement.
저한테만 유독 색안경 끼고 보시는 분들이 좀 많아서 좀 그런 것들이 좀 속상하긴 하죠. 기자님들 저 좀 예뻐해 주세요.
He drew reaction with some of his poses without underwear and was severely criticized and insulted by some people with his posts in defense of abortion and women's rights. However, these and similar situations in a row, Sulli's inability to achieve the success he expected in any job he did after leaving FX caused him to fall into a serious depression. In June 2019, Sulli released a clip called Goblin. According to the rumor, he was also talking about his experiences and ailments in the clip. The clip made a lot of noise and was as if it was a message about what he went through in his own life. We will return to the details of the clip in a moment. About 4 months after the clip was released, Sulli was found dead in his home on the 14th of October 2019. He was only 25 years old. The singer and actress, who had received brutal criticism for everything she had done so far, had ended her own life. Sulli was insulted for having a boyfriend, criticized for starring in a film. Her followers vomited hatred at her for the way she dressed, her behavior, her posture, and even her opinions. However, the young Sulli, who was lonely and had a sensitive heart, could not take these criticisms any longer. The police made a statement after the investigation and mentioned that Sulli was alone at home. At the same time, they did not find any cases of forced entry or theft. The police also found a diary in which Sulli had written down his last moments and feelings. However, out of respect for the deceased and his family, this was never shared with the press. However, there is a letter, a writing that has been circulating, which is rumored to be Sulli's. But it is not clear whether this is 100% Sulli's or not. Sulli's death has made a significant impact in the K-pop world, and the already controversial life of idols and the strange rules they were forced to follow came to the agenda again. Some of these were that they could not have a boyfriend or girlfriend in public. They had to follow various dress and behavior rules. They could not use substances such as alcohol and cigarettes. Some artists did not receive any money from their companies until they reached a certain level in line with certain agreements. And if they broke the agreements, they were put under serious debt burdens. Of course, since the agreements signed between the companies and idols or between the artists were confidential, these were some of the estimated clauses, but some of them were also confirmed by some artists who left their groups. Of course, these rules do not apply to every company, but it is also known that some companies really put artists in a difficult situation and apply very harsh rules. In particular, it was also known that they were subjected to a very strict training before becoming an idol. They received training for 20 hours a day. They were in an intense diet, dance, and sports program. At the same time, it was a fact that some companies were forced to have aesthetic operations because they wanted the artist to have a better appearance. Sulli also had some difficulties with his acting career, which started at a young age, and then with his continuing effects series, he was worn out and eventually died. In an interview she gave before her death, she stated that she did not want to die without becoming a mother, but fate had already knitted her bonds for her. She left many question marks after her death, especially about the clip she released. There were many hidden details in the clip, and it came to the fore that Sulli actually lived a secluded life in a remote place. Although more than 4 years have passed, Sulli, his death, and the Goblin clip are still one of the issues that are still talked about today and cannot be clearly clarified. Sulli had released a very new clip, and they worked hard on it. It was confusing that he ended his own life before even seeing its success. In addition, his funeral was closed to the press, and his fans claimed that his family members were not as upset as they should have been. They took his death quite calmly. In addition, the presence of someone who looked very similar to Syria at the funeral was caught on camera. Many people stated that he was actually Sulli and that he came to his own funeral. In addition, according to the claims of some of his fans, Sulli had made a very large amount of shopping very shortly before he died. This included clothes, food, drink, and many other things. So why did a person who was thinking of ending his own life after a very short time feel the need to make such a large amount of shopping? Going back to the clip, there is a warning at the very beginning of the clip, friends. This story is about a person with dissociative disorder, and he has 3 characters. Even this is quite disturbing. Sulli Deed has had similar problems since childhood, being depressed, experiencing things like panic attacks or social phobia. After the clip was released, people were wondering, is Sulli talking about himself here? Sulli created a number of questions about whether he suffered from problems such as schizophrenia or multiple personality split. And Sulli's clip on SM Entertainment's YouTube page, this Goblin clip has 21 million views. There are 500,000 comments under it. And this is an incredible number, friends. At the beginning of the Goblin clip, Sulli first sits and talks about something. From the conversations here, it was brought up that he actually gave some messages about his death in advance. In the clip, the people who come to the house afterwards are looking for Sulli, but cannot find her. Meanwhile, the young woman is hiding. Inside the room, there is a wheelchair and also an American flag. It is also one of the rumors that the view in the room where Sulli sits at the beginning of the clip does not resemble Korea at all. In other words, it is rumored that the young woman is planning to escape to another place. In the pool scene in the middle of the clip, there is a different second image of Sulli reflected in the water in the pool. Sulli is sitting there, moving by herself. It looks like the reflection of a ghost. Later in the video, Sulli's third junkie enters the house through the garden gate, and once inside, they all go up to the second floor together. One of the girls has a sword in her hand, and in the next scene, bloodstains appear on the screen. It was announced that Sunil was actually found dead on the second floor of his own house. These are all theories, of course. In addition, as far as it is known, this is a project implemented by SM Entertainment, so Sulli did not decide this clip and the things that will be in the clip alone. There are dozens of different theories about the clip. That's why I wanted to share them with you. Of course, as I said at the beginning of the video, some fans also thought that the company was involved. Sulli was actually not the only one who worked with SM Entertainment and lost his life. Another idol named Cheong Yong lost his life about 2 years before Sulli, and he also ended his own life. This person, the child, died on the 18th of December 2017. Sulli ended his own life on the 14th of October 2019. And guess how many days in between? Exactly 666. Of course, this changed the fans' perspective on their attitudes towards SM Entertainment. A lot of different speculation and news circulating on social media entered the interval. When the number 666 came to the fore, some things were said that this was a ritual, that it could have been dedicated to the devil. Another K-pop star, Gohara, also known to be a close friend of Sulli, died only 1 month and 10 days after Sulli's death. He also opened a live broadcast after the death of the young woman and said that he would be happier, live a better life, and that he would do this for both himself and Sulli. By the way, Gohara was not affiliated with SM Entertainment Friends. He was affiliated with another company, by the way. Friends, while researching this subject, all the news, articles, and information about Sulli are actually all about his death. In any case, I think that a young, beautiful, and talented star like Sulli should not have made a name for himself only with his death. She was still young. She was very beautiful. She was loved. She was successful. In some quarters, of course, she could have done more good things. She could have been a mother as she always wanted. She could have lived a nice, quiet life. But unfortunately, I am here with a sad event that resulted in the death of a young girl. I would be glad if you like and comment on my videos for more comments and more complex events.